I've made Belgium into a capitalist utopia with the highest standard of living in the world, the highest GDP, fourth largest population, with just 5 provinces. Our companies alone have more profit than any other companies in the world, and we make between 5.8 million and 11.7 on our taxation levels by playing insanely tall. So let's make a deal. If you enjoy this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and in return I promise I'll deliver even more awesome videos like these in the future. Life in 1800s Belgium is really good. We've got a pretty decent economy. We start with all of our tier 1 technologies researched and quite a lot of the tier 2 technologies, including railways, mechanical tools, atmospheric engines. So we start as one of the most technologically advanced nations out there. The only thing that we're lacking is provinces and population. We only have 4 million population and 2 main provinces, as well as a bit of Gelre, which might be given away depending on what happens during the London conference. That being said, we also have a couple of great treaties with the French where they guarantee our independence, a trade treaty with the British where they build up in our country, some of the most progressive and modern laws out of most nations in Europe at the start of the campaign as well. And despite our size, we start with quite a few buildings, a couple of universities which we're going to change to the philosophical department and secular academy, same for government administration, coal mines, iron mines, logging camps, and even quite a few urban buildings. Reality is, guys, Belgium is quite powerful from the start of the campaign, but if you play your cards right, you do not need to expand, and with just the starting Belgian states you can become ridiculously strong and powerful. So that's what I want to do here, right? I want to do a full campaign as Belgium, and I want to see how much population, how much GDP I can squeeze out of the Belgian lands by playing insanely tall. The thing that's really gonna help us out is gonna be the technologies. So we need to make sure we research the right technology and always be one step in front of the other great powers. So-called great powers, because we're the only great power that matters. Am I right, guys? Come on. We're gonna go for water tube boilers first and foremost so we can continue extracting more out of our existing mines. We do start with Société Anonyme John Cockerell, which is actually a really good company. It has tooling workshops, steel mills, motor industries, and we can give it investment rights, which we will right now, as well as we can give it over the iron mine industry and even trade rights, so we can start building trade centers by itself. One very important thing I'm going to do from day one is I'm going to set all of my tariffs for import and export on 0 to encourage more trade between my market and the world market. Flanders is my personal favorite state. It has a lot of population, it has a lot of everything, but it doesn't have any actual resources. The iron mines, the coal mines, and the sulfur and lead mines are in Wallonia, so actually Wallonia is the real underdog here. That being said, we're going to be equally trying to distribute our wealth in both Wallonia and Flanders, because both of these are overall important states to have. If anything, we could say do the more industrial side in Wallonia and the more manufacturing side in Flanders, if that makes sense, since our market access is at 85 from the start of the campaign, so really we don't have any massive issues with market access. Also going to be improving relations with the British, with the Prussians, with the French, basically all the great powers, because when the London conference comes about, I would like them to vote for something that benefits me rather than the Dutch or anyone else. You can also get a bit more influence by rivaling some nations like Bavaria, Lippe, all the other little Schnitzeldorfs in Germany, and even the Portuguese and Spain we can rival to get more influence, which again we can use to get more relations improved with the Russians, with Austrians, and that's about it. We cannot improve with the Americans just yet. We got to get our declared interest in an area where the Americans are in so we can improve with them too. We start from day one with the Liberal Party in charge, so we have a really good situation from a political perspective. We want to make some changes here though. I would like to go for public schools instead of religious schools, and I would also like to go for cultural exclusion, which will encourage more pops from around Europe to start migrating to our land. That being said, we have no migration control, so we can get even more people from around the entire planet, our provinces. Free trade is also pretty important because we want to get the 25% trade advantage, and yes, with the 1.9 patch and the changes to the world market and trade itself, we will be trying to become the world hub for trade. A lot of our income will arrive from trade than anything else. When it comes to the authority that we have, we're going to use it to issue decrees. I'm talking road maintenance in both of our provinces, social mobility in both of them, greener grass campaign in both of them, and we're going to do resource resource industry in Wallonia as well as manufacturing industry in Flanders. Now I'm actually out of authority, so what I could do is I could change the social mobility from Flanders to manufacturing industry. The reason I'm doing this is also because we have quite a decent size of literacy and quite a lot of pops also when it comes to qualifications. If we need more qualifications, we'll change to social mobility. Ideally, this is a great decree to issue in nations which don't have qualifications and education, and you want to just increase your literacy as much as you can. But seeing as we are about to get public schools anyway, we can just get rid of this decree altogether. Also take note, your population's birth rate decreases the more literate it is. So at 100% literacy, your birth rate is decreased by 10%, which is quite a significant figure. So remember that too. You don't want them to be too educated from the start of the campaign because you want to have some pops to work in your factories, right? Hey, we got 3.5k progress on water tube boilers. Hells to the yes. It means we're going to research this a lot faster now. And also since we started using up more of our wood, iron, and tools for the construction industry, we have some shortages now. So that means we're going to be queuing up some logging camps, especially early in the campaign. Wood is going to be one of the most productive type of resource you can have. And of course, we're going to get 4 more iron mines in Wallonia too. And we're basically just doing this. We're queuing up logging camps, iron mines, tooling workshops, and then construction sec. And we're in essence just rinse and repeating this again and again for the first few years. We're letting our construction industry build itself up in essence. One major issue we will have is fiber. Fiber is really hard to get for us. We cannot have cotton plantations. So the only way we can get it early on except for trade is through the livestock ranches, which is why spamming some livestock ranches really is not the worst idea. And there you go. We actually got super lucky with that 11% success chance and we went to drafting. That is crazy. We also have some massive shortages of paper because we only have the one paper mill. So we're going to queue up a second one in Flanders for now. And we're going to bring it up to the top of the queue right after we finish this logging camp. We can do the paper mill. Yeah, I think we can sustain a couple more construction sectors. Let's get 2 more in Wallonia now. And there you have it, boys. We managed to get public schools and we also got water tube boilers. Holy Schnitzeldorf. Okay, that means we can change our production methods here to the condensed engine pumps, which means that we do not have any more issues when it comes to our mineral input for the construction. Instead, it's all about the tools and the wood. So we're going to cancel the extra iron mines I had in the queue from before. When it comes to the next law, I will attempt to get guaranteed liberties simply so I don't have to worry about rebellions or any sort of activism afterwards. If we manage to pass this, it's going to be a great day for us and fix our issue with internal security for the rest of the campaign. Wary of uneasy truce existing between our two countries, the Dutch government has approached us with a proposal for a conference to resolve our current territorial and legal dispute. We can agree that the great powers will mediate this particular situation, or we do not give a single inch to the damn Dutch and we get really bad relations with everybody. Realistically, guys, you could probably get those relations back with the great powers, especially since we have been improving since the start of the campaign. It actually is not too bad. If you want to leave yourself in the hand of the great powers, well, let's just say that it might not end up very well for you. It's up to you if you like gambling or not. I don't like gambling, so I'm gonna go for the second option. No London conference, avoid that shit altogether, and we still have neutral relations with the great powers, and we're gonna be, of course, getting this back up to friendly relations by continuing to improve it. The British also still have 10 with us, so honestly, if you improve from day one, you don't need to do the London conference. Only nation that's gonna hate you is the Dutch, but the Dutch are gonna hate you regardless, so it doesn't really matter, does it? Also, we just became a major power due to us being the leader producer in certain goods. We could get more if we increase our government wages, but it's not worth it. We still are gonna be only a major power regardless. A window to utopia, 20% migration attraction. That is actually huge. Right now we've got 600,000 people we can still employ. That is not much. We need to increase that by a lot. The Dutch have crossed our border. When confronted with the issue, they said they got lost. We can give them 12 infamy, or we can say it was an accident. No, let them learn not to cross into Gelre, historic land of the Belgian Empire, the Belgian peaceful nation. All right, speaking of peaceful nation, we need more peaceful construction sectors here to get 2 more. So that way we have 10 construction sectors and 39 already, which is really good considering we are technically a 2-province nation, and we also needed a little bit more government administration building. So let's get 1 more in Flanders, which already has some taxation issues. Now, seeing as we already we are a major power. Taking loans is not as punishing as if we were not one, because we get the loan interest rate reduction. But still, interest is going to be piling up now. So what we could do to help prevent this interest from piling up is we could pause our construction a little bit, or just be a man and not give a shit about interest. Okay, it's just a number. It does not matter, trust me, until it does matter and we're screwed. But we're not going to get to that point, are we now? Oh, speak of the devil, minus 20% loan interest rate. Baby. Oh, we're basically paying nothing in interest now. That's huge. That's almost like we're a great power almost. So next up, to help with this too, is I will attempt to go for laissez-faire. We've got quite a lot of support for it from both the intelligentsia and industrialists, so I'm fairly certain we're going to be able to get it passed. Russia would like to build in Belgium. How about I build in your country, huh? You like that? You like that, Russia? No? Well, I'm just going to give you trade privilege. That's it. Nothing else, buddy boy. Oh, look at that. They want me to pass laissez-faire in the next 5 years. I'm down for that. And we also just failed guaranteed liberties. I'm a little bit sad. I kind of was hoping that we'll pass it, but I'm sure that we're going to pass laissez-faire, right? Surely that's going to be the one law we pass easily. Now, we still have shortages now of coal, fiber, and wood. So I'll be doing exactly what I just did a few seconds ago, queuing up more logging camps in both of these provinces. Add up to that some more coal mines to say 5 coal mines for now, then a little bit of sprinkling down of livestock ranches. That should be enough for now. 10 and 10 is more than okay. The rest of that we can get from imports. You also might be wondering, why are you building up these food industries? They are very expensive, and I'm sure your population doesn't need that many groceries. Well, you see, buddy boy, I would like to get my secondary company because we have the option of going for that. However, I actually want to go for the Belgian food company. So I need to have 5 food industries for that. It is basically not productive at all right now because, like you said, there's more than enough groceries in our market, but it will start going up in price as we increase our standard of living. So Belgian food company, welcome to the Schnitzeldorf. We are not going to give them any charters for now, but eventually we'll fix that. Right now, our priority is going to be making sure our standard of living increases. That's also why I researched pharmaceuticals, so I can go for public health insurance as my next legislation, which will flat out increase my standard of living by 0.5 per level. Feel pretty confident that we can get some more construction sectors. Let's get 2 more in each state. And I'm just realizing I've been completely ignoring Gelre, and Gelre is not too bad also. Let's check this out. So they've got coal mines, they've got logging camps, heck, they even have a couple of steel mills and paper mills. This is really not a bad state whatsoever. We also managed to get another agitator, but he is supporting the reactionary movement. This particular movement is trying to pull us back towards becoming a national supremacy, migration control, monarchy, yada yada yada. We don't need your kind around here. Exile the Schnitzeldorf. Instead, we're going to invite Mr. Albert Sangebang, who is a modernizer. Nothing better than a modernizer, is there? Reason I also haven't been privatizing my buildings is because once we have laissez-faire enacted, automatically it's gonna start privatizing all our buildings. So we're gonna get our gold reserve completely filled. Look at that. We're about to overtake the Egyptians and the Spaniards despite our little size. And I'm also pretty confident that I can start flooding the world market. Let's see what they have shortages of. Iron, wood, paper, and tools. That's exactly what I'm gonna be spamming and what I have been spamming so far. Queue up another 5 iron mines in Valonia, and we just got laissez-faire. So let's see our finances insanely increase right now. Bessemer process means we're now producing 25 more steel for the cost of only 20 iron. So that's a really big one. And we can get also more rifles from our arms industries. Look at that. We went from like what, 20,000 or something to 80,000 already. You know what's missing though? Universities, guys. We need a lot more universities to maintain that technological buff that we have from day one. So let's get 5 in each state, and then we'll slowly build up more and more as we progress. Plus we can get a few more construction sectors. So let's say 3 more in Valonia. Oh god, yeah, look at this. Look at this, guys. Oh my god, we're getting a lot of our population. Oh, hold on a second, this is huge. Allow Belgium to build in Brazil. What if I give you an obligation in exchange for that, and maybe a little bit of money too? They might actually fall for this. Maybe some goods transfer to you. I'll give you a little bit of iron. Oh my god, they actually will fall for this. That's huge. Let's attempt 50%. It entered into force. Oh my god, that's actually so lucky. All right, so now we have our very first nation where we can start building in, namely Brazil. So we can start making a buttload of money and getting more and more capitalists. That's basically the plan here, boys. So step one, obviously industrialize our own nation. But once we run out of population, we're going to start getting investment rights in all of the third world countries, build up those particular countries, and then we profit off of the dividends tax on our capitalists, which we're going to have a buttload of. So right now we've got about 24,000 upper class, which is aristocrats and capitalists, but that's going to change very, very fast. I'm also confident that we can do more construction sector. So let's get 3 more in Wallonia too. Our investment pool has already increased to 11 million, guys. 11 freaking million. That is crazy. So we could just literally let our investment pool do all the work for us right now. We don't even need to build anything. Mortality rate for agriculture and ranch workers. It's for the greater good, for Christ's sake. People need health insurance because of that mortality rate we just gave them. So we pretty much reached our reserve cap now. We don't want to burn gold for no reason. So let's get more construction sectors. Oh my god, it's crazy. I'm actually maxing out the construction sectors of Wallonia already. And look at that. Exactly what I was saying. My capitals are starting to build in Brazil, Bahia, Rio Grande, Sao Paulo, all the most dangerous areas in the world. I'm just kidding, guys. I assume that's probably somewhere in Mexico. And we've got our very first prestige good, precision tools, and our company's profit are increasing quite a bit. Let's see, what are we standing right now? We're the second company by profit in the world, above the Hudson Bay Company and right behind the East India Company, which is a behemoth, so there's not much you can do to compete with them, to be honest. Well, there are some things, such as trying to get some investment rights in the Middle East. So maybe I can change around my declared interests from North Africa, Persia, and then maybe I can get some treaties in this area, build up their opium plantations, compete with the East India ones. And you know what? Screw it, man. I'm gonna go full Schnitzeldorf. We're maxing out the construction sectors in Flanders too. Oh my god, we're up to 155,000 national revenue, and we are the world's 7th great power already, man. And that's all from being leader in prestige goods as well as leader of certain goods. Oh man, this is crazy. This is actually crazy. We don't even have much prestige from our armed forces, and we're still 7th great power above the Ottomans. Prestige goods are so good, by the way. Like really, really good. 60 prestige early on from one prestige good is just crazy. Okay, we can also afford 3,600 for 30% success chance on public health insurance. And I actually just realized I have yet to upgrade my soldiers to the latest technology. Let's do that now. I didn't really bother with my army too much up until this point, to be fair. I think I do need to modernize it just to have it there for whatever just in case somebody decides to take a piece of us, right? So we could say get some more artillery pieces, delete the Lancer so we have 5, which is a nice round number, and get 7 more artillery pieces. That's 15 infantry and 15 support, which is 30 soldiers. Okay, for now, I guess. We do need an artillery foundry. We don't have our own domestic production of artillery, so we're gonna get one of those, and we're gonna get also a munitions plant to go alongside it for our soldiers. And of course, we also need a glass works. We're gonna do that in Wallonia, since we're also gonna be doing a lead mine in Wallonia right after. Can't believe we already up to 12 million GDP. That's crazy, man. So we're basically about to overtake the Prussians GDP wise. We're above the Japanese, above the Ottomans. Holy schnitzel. Now guys, one very important thing to take note of in a Belgian campaign that might put you guys at a disadvantage: try not to get too much leverage over yourself from the British Empire, because then they're going to invite you to their power block, and if you don't accept, they will have a domineering attitude instead of a cautious or friendly or whatever. So then they're going to just try their best to eat you. You don't want that to happen. So in essence, make sure you're below 200 leverage with them. Easy to do. First thing I did when we started the campaign, I renegotiated the Treaty of Amenity and Commerce, and we only gave them a trade privilege instead of what it had initially, simply because that lowers the leverage a little bit. And just do a couple of these things to make sure they don't get above 200 leverage. Very easy to keep in check. Also, now that we've got public health insurance, we can go for level 4 health system. That means we need a little bit more bureaucracy for that, since it's 39 per level. And legislation wise, I will be attempting my free trade for that juicy trade advantage. Now in 1.9 patch, what trade advantage does is it influences what the price for importing and exporting is in your trade centers. So having a flat out 25% trade advantage is just a benefit of massive scales, because end of the day, you really don't want to put tariffs. In this game, tariffs are kind of bait. They might help you in the short term, but in the long term, what happens with tariffs is they make other nations choose other trade partners, not you, so you end up losing trade volume. So we don't want to do that. We want to increase our trade volume and make sure that we have cheaper goods by increasing our trade advantage for the rest of the world to prioritize us over other trade partners. Okay, let's get a little bit more construction sectors, and we've also kind of reached a bit of a problem. 200,000 pops left for employment is not good. It is really not good. Kind of makes me think that maybe what I need to do now is focus on legislation to get more people in here. Seeing as I've got decent relations with the other great powers already, I am going to be forming my own power block, the European Union, a trade league. That's exactly what we are. And because we are a trade league, we're going to go for external trade, which will increase our trade capacity and trade advantage by 25%. It's really good. Let's go ahead. An actual trade league for once. And also it looks really cool on the map when you think about it. Look at that. European Union membership 1. That's it. Just one member for now. For now, we might grow. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the future, okay? There you go. To celebrate, we also went to drafting phase with free trade. Now, I would like to actually get some nations in this trade league peacefully. So that's why I'm going to be improving with the Swiss, and I'm going to try and get some relations and treaties done with them too. I would like to build up in Switzerland. In exchange, I'm going to guarantee their independence, give them trade privilege, and heck, I'm also going to give them a little bit of money too. So 82% chance. Come on. There you go. They accepted our second investment rights in the Switzerland. What the hell is that flag actually? What is this nation? They're a parliamentary republic, autocracy, national supremacy. What is happening in this nation? What on earth, Switzerland? It's an elective dictatorship. What? Okay, that's got to be the weirdest thing I've seen ever. Heck, I'm gonna be even funding lobbies in Switzerland just to get them closer to me. Go ahead and spam some more government administration buildings now. Make sure we fix those taxation capacity issues, and we get more bureaucracy to level up our institution to level 4. Time to go back and start improving relations as well, since forming that power block did punish us a little bit the relations wise. We're gonna need some new rivals too, so we're gonna need some actual nations as rivals, such as the Ottomans, the 2 Sicilians, and the Dutch. Funny how 2 individuals can own an entire nation, am I right? I'm just kidding. I know there's more than 2 people in 2 Sicilies. It's like 5 of them. Damn, we already have cordial with these nations. Well, I want to be really friendly, not just cordial, okay, buddy boy? A really big help for me when it comes to fixing population problems is technology. So going for nitroglycerin, dynamite, rotary valve engine, steel railway cars, all of these production methods are going to help massively to lower the amount of pops needed for working in our factories and mines. Attempt number 1, electric schnickadoo. Will we pass cultural exclusion? Will we not? That is the question. Oh, we're almost about to be the world's leader and standard of living too, overshadowed temporarily by the lower Canadians, but they don't really matter, do they? Are they even a real country? No, they're not. You know why they're not? Because they're lower Canada, but they're above upper Canada. What is up with that game? What is up with that? Clearly fake news. Wait a second. Persia is just flat out giving me the ability to build in their country without me having to give them nothing? I mean, at the very least, let me give you trade privileges too, okay? Persia just wants me to build there, bro. They're like, please, somebody just build here already. We need stuff. Oh my god, we're up to 15.3 standard of living. That is crazy. Take that, you little Schnitzeldorf Canobians. And we just got health insurance level 4, so that should grow even more, technically. Our first mass migration is here too. Oh my god, I just realized Chile's flag is identical to the Texan. I was looking, how come Texas is still alive? And then I realized, nope, that's just Chile. And also, Chile has historical Chilean borders. They didn't just snapple dope into Patagonia yet, at least. Holy shit, we got cultural exclusion on the very first try. And as soon as we got that, the Brazilians withdrew from the Treaty of Reciprocity. I'm not saying the Brazilians are a little bit scum. I built up your freaking country, you little shits, and you do that? I'm so pissed right now. I'm really pissed right now. Okay, we need to have another deal, Brazil. We need another freaking dahil. All right, how about now? 5% chance. We're gonna need to give these people some money, aren't we? Now, there you go. Should accept it like this. They declined at 80%. You little shit. Oh my god, we might have the very first Belgian-Brazilian historical war. I'm just saying, might happen. Also gonna attempt to go for proportional taxation. Problem is that a lot of our government and a lot of our pops are industrialists, and they do not support this because who gets that dividends tax? Let me hear it. Yeah, that's right. It's the industrialists. They don't want to get taxed, those little shits. I'm also going to be increasing my army size because I will be attempting some things that I shall not mention for now. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section what exactly you think I'm going to be doing here and why some people are going to really suffer. Oh, we've got our first country we can invite. That's right. It's the Switzerlands. The European Union has grown. Our first nation. Oh my god, it's beautiful, isn't it? Okay, I'm gonna have to invite more nations. I actually want to grow the European Union to include more than just Switzerland and Belgium, okay? We actually need to grow this to proper sizes. We gotta include Persia in it. Yep, that's right. The European Union includes Persia, in case you're wondering. It's totally a part of Europe. Shut up, don't ask questions. Allow Russia to build in Belgium. How about we do the opposite? How about... Oh, you do want that, actually. Whoa. You know what? I don't think they're going to be building in me as much as I'm going to be building in them. So I'm going to accept that treaty because I also would like to have a strong ally to the east. The days are migrating. Holy skibidi. Okay, what's happening, boys? What's the problem here? Are these people too upset to be in the government because we're passing laws they're not happy with? I think that's probably the problem, isn't it? Also, we are struggling here to overtake the Austrians, but I'm confident we're going to get it done. I also kind of feel like I should invite some German nations in my power block, but I just don't want to mess with the Prussians. I'd rather just have good relations with Germany than have to fight them. So my next target is the Swedes. I'm going to start improving relations with them, funding them, and eventually get some treaties as well that they are actually okay with that. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. They just flat out accept my wow, Sweden. All I got to do now is wait for my leverage to go up and my relations to increase, and then I can invite them to the Union too. That is just a free nation right there. I guess it pays to be the good guy, guys. It pays to be the goodies. Are we the goodies? Yeah, we're the goodies. That's also totally a word. Okay, we're up to 16.9 standard of living, followed up by the Mosquito Kingdom, known for flying close to your ear and making a really annoying sound. That's also where all the mosquitoes originate from. Just don't look this up. Oh my god. What is this? Everybody loves me. The Austrians want to mutually give trade privileges. Hell yeah. Oh, dude, maybe I can unify the entirety of Europe after I break the Austrians down into little pieces. 7 nations, all of which slowly will join the European Union, and underneath the umbrella of the Great Union, they shall be sucked dry of their economies. What? Who said that? Nobody said that. Shut up. Allow France to build in Belgium. Okay, buddy, you need to calm down, okay? We need to mutually allow each other to build in one another. That's how things work here, Bo. See? Prussia gets it. They're mutually giving me investment rights as well as trade privilege. That's exactly what I want, Prussia. Thank you for being a good sport. And just to point out how awesome this mutual treaty is, look at that. They're not building anything in my country because at this point in the campaign, these nations barely have enough construction sector for their own construction queue. However, we are definitely building. Look at that. Tambov, Samara, Franche-Comté, Alsace-Lorraine, Kabulistan. We're building everywhere, pretty much everywhere outside of our country because we don't have anywhere else to build in our provinces. So our capitalists and our investment fund is going outside, which means that we're going to be making massive amounts of money once we pass proportional taxation because we're going to be taxing all those pops. Look at that. It increased from 7,000 to 16,000 in just a couple of years. Once we get graduated taxation, that's where the big money is though. 43,000 right now. Investment rights in other countries as Belgium is ridiculously broken, and I really mean it. I mean, it's the same for any country you do that, right? But as the Belgians, since you cannot really do much in your country, just becoming the bank of the world, the trust fund baby of the world, it's just crazy, man. We're here, baby. Proportional taxation. Okay, let's make some big changes now. Very low taxes, so we encourage more peeps to come to our country, although we are currently getting migration every freaking month, so that's pretty huge. And we're gonna also increase our construction sectors, max out the ones in Wallonia, get some more in Gelre as well. We currently have 8 million investment pool, and we're gonna allow the private sectors to use up all of that investment pool, build up, get rich, and we tax those riches. And in the meanwhile, our population is is going to slowly grow so we can start building up domestic industry afterwards as well. We're up to 25 million GDP right now. We are closing in on the Austrians, and the Prussians are also trying to reach our level, but they're gonna fail. We're also about to enter level 3 technologies. So we're gonna do reinforced concrete. Dynamite is gonna be a huge one for us. Rotary valve, steel railway cars, and Donkey Kongs. Standard of living is also massively increasing. I mean, the disparity between us and the rest of the world is huge. Look at that, 19.1 standard of living. And the next actual great power or major power is Sweden with 13. From 19.2 to third freaking teen is massive, dude. Like, actually massive. We're way above everybody else right now. It's incredible. And look at that, we're making 235 national revenue from our investment pool. Basically, our private sector is building everywhere around the world, and that investment pool, by the way, is growing faster than we spend it. So we technically need more construction sectors. The next big deal for us would be passing total separation, because then we get an extra 15 acceptance for all religions in the world. So 15 acceptance from this, with 40 for cultural traits or 60 for heritage traits, means we're gonna get level 1 class citizens from half the planet and level 2 citizens from the rest of the planet. But more importantly, because we have no migration control, it means that we're gonna get insane amounts of pops choosing to come to our country, because we got high standard of living, we accept all religions afterwards, pretty much all cultures, and there's gonna be just a massive influx of pops, so we can locally build up our industry whilst at the same time still building up the rest of the world, which we can tax the shit out of after. Dude, we're about to get 20 standard of living as freaking Belgium in the 1850s. I don't remember ever getting this high standard of living as a mid-sized nation before. This is insane how powerful Belgium is in this particular patch, in my opinion. And look at that, the investment pool is now up to 24 million. So even if I get all the construction sectors in the Galre, it's still not gonna be enough. We're gonna need more freaking construction to build up all of that investment pool. Our investment pool is growing in insane rate, man. 187,000 weekly as a freaking 2.5 province nation. What is this? The question now that's lingering at the back of my mind is, what if I decide to unify the lowlands? Get the Dutch areas, get the Netherlands as my provinces, and then as a full five provinces nation, as a unified Dutch nation / Wallonian. How strong could we get? As in my previous run, I did a 2-state nation, but now in this patch it starts as a 2.5 state from the beginning, so I cannot do a 2-state anymore. So the question I have now is, how big could we get as a 5-state nation in the lowlands? That, I feel like we kind of need to answer that question. An absolutely massive strike to my play here. I did not pass total separation. We were on literal last phase and it failed. I went to last phase really fast, and then I got 3 setbacks and I failed it. So RNG giveth, RNG taketh away, I guess. Kind of sucks, but I think something that would help us is going for guaranteed liberties now. We don't have any opposition this time, and we have a lot of endorsements, so it should pass fairly quick. I'm also noticing a lot of Afro-Antillean migration. What is happening in that area of the world? Let me also check my cultural makeup now. We're getting a lot of Albanians, North Germans, Afro-Antilleans, but they are getting assimilated really, really fast from what I'm noticing. Let's check what our private sector is building right now. A lot of trade centers from what I'm noticing. Wheat farms, rice farms, everything, everywhere. I need more companies, man. I feel like I really need more companies. How are my companies doing, actually? So we're up to 306,000 profit. Holy mother of God. And even this one's not doing too bad. 31,000 is pretty decent. I'm gonna allow them local investment rights and trade rights, so that way they should grow a lot faster now. Globally, we're still second right after the East India Company. The Hudson Bay is catching up though, so we do need to double down our efforts on this company. It's also time that we properly unify. Denmark wants to join the Union. Holy schnitzel, man. That's the 3rd European Union member, and they join of their own accord. I was gonna say we're gonna make the Dutch our next nation, and I don't want to directly own the Netherlands because I want to keep this European Union theme. Maybe we'll integrate them later in the campaign, but for now I'm just going to make them a puppet, and I will only fully annex Luxembourg because it's a revolting little Schnitzeldorf that should never have existed. They never should have existed. And also because I want to have the entirety of the Wallonian state. I just don't want this little thing here. This is just annoying. Look at that. 100,000 GDP, 200,000 pops. We might as well just integrate it in Wallonia. Let's face it. I'm also doing this by myself, by the way. All the great powers love me, and if I wanted to, I could have invited the Prussians, the French, whoever to help me out. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just doing it by myself. I'm fairly confident that we can crush the line infantry of the Dutch. We've got skirmishers, mobile artillery. We got an actual army. They've got basically Schnitzeldorf, and that's basically it. Yeah, so another thing I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be canceling the claims they've got on Wallonia and Flanders. Does it make any difference? No, none whatsoever. But I like to. like to make sure they have no claims. It's for my own role-playing purposes, okay? That's the only reason we're doing that. Why did the French withdraw from that? I'm not sure why they withdrew from that, but they still have genial attitude. All right, we got their capital, so we've basically won the war. And we got dynamite. Oh, my Schnitzelberg. That is huge. Let's go ahead and change all of these production methods that we have here for dynamite. That way, we don't suffer from the 20 to 30% mortality of laborers, machinists, and engineers. We were really losing pops on that before. And voila, boys, we have... Wait. What? Oh my god. It's the bug, isn't it? I'm not able to make them a puppet. I just got 31 infamy. I enforced my war goal, and I didn't get my puppet. I'm gonna say that that sucks. I'm kind of pissed. I'm not gonna lie. I also don't want to reload the save game because I'm not sure if I have a save game before the war. Let me check. I do have a save game before the war. Oh man, I gotta do the war again. Okay, so I'm not gonna make the same mistakes, guys. I will be full on annexing the entirety of the Netherlands. It means we got 88 infamy, but we don't need to worry about expansion ever again, so it doesn't matter because after we've got the Netherlands, we just chill. We don't need to attack anyone, so infamy is not important. We're about to enforce on the Danes, which means we've basically gotten all 5 of the lowland provinces, all of Wallonia, all of Flanders, all of Gelre, Holland, and Friesland, but we do need to incorporate these 2 particular states, which we don't already have as our main states. And we've also done Winds of Change journal entrance. That's pretty good. We're gonna have to now change our production methods, make sure that we have the most optimal production methods everywhere around the country, since we've inherited a lot of provinces now. The good part is that we can properly snowball now since we have the entirety of the lowlands, and not only are we going to be the 7th great power, but we can easily attain 1st great power rank, in my opinion, with this. Let's also spam a couple of government administration buildings since we're going to need quite a few more of these. I'm actually not sure if there is any achievement for forming United Netherlands. I do remember that I formed it a really long time ago, so maybe I've unlocked some sort of an achievement. Not, let me see, anything formable. Fordlandia. Oh, that's an American one. That's a new one. There's actually a surprisingly high amount of American achievements. Maybe I should do a proper new American playthrough focused on getting these achievements. Nothing unique to the Belgians from what I can tell, at least. Make sure we cancel the mobilization option so we don't waste money on the army now. I'm gonna keep my army as 50. I will recruit another 10 artillery pieces later, but for now it's okay. I am genuinely not gonna do any more wars in this campaign, or at least not that I think of right now. Let's see. Power block, we only have 3 European nations in the power block, but we want to get more. So our main goal now is to get better relations, get some more treaties with the smaller European nations, which are easier to add to the European Union. Whereas the big ones, we might think about breaking them apart. Bavaria is separate. They got their own market. They left the Prussian power block. Maybe we can actually do that then. Maybe we can invite the Bavarians to our power block. From rival to European Union member, apparently. And check it out. We are far above the Austrians since we got the lands of the Dutch. We're actually catching up on the Russians, and I'm fairly certain that we can overtake the Russians with the newly conquered provinces. Lowlands land reclamation. Okay, I'm down for that. Let's see what happens, right? Oh, we can reclaim up to 20 arable land. Sure, that's not bad. And we also can form the United Netherlands now. Should we though? Should we just keep beautiful Belgian borders a name? I don't know. I'm a little bit on the fritz about that. I mean, I guess I can do it since we're pretty much United Netherlands anyway, right? The French seem to have a bit of an issue as well. They've got a pretty significant war, and one side's helped by the Americans and French Senegal. The other side's helped by half of Europe. Holy shit. Half of Europe really wants the legitimist revolt to survive. That is crazy. Also, we went up to 465,000 national revenue already, guys. I think I'm gonna cancel the taxes here. We really don't need these consumption taxes at all. Instead, I can increase temporarily my wages, and I can do violent suppression to help with calming the people down a little bit. Speaking of, after we get guaranteed liberties, I'm gonna go for some type of police system. Obviously, likely gonna be dedicated police force, because we need to have those state penalty from turmoil reductions, as well as the radicals from political movement reductions. Ah, yes, guys, the next member of the European Union, the Persians. Clear European nation to join the European Union. Of course, everybody knows. You truly cannot spell Europe without Persia in it. You know what else you cannot spell without European Union? Siam. Yep, that's right. In case you didn't know, Siam is one of the founding members of the European Union, much like Jabal Shammar is. And of course, let's not forget the Greeks, which actually might have been some of the founders of the European Union. This might be the only actual founder. Ah, yes, Greece. Suck all of those treaty thingies. Suck them all, buddy. Suck them all. Yeah, that's right. 95% chance? Of course, you're desperate. You're gonna accept anything I throw at you, aren't you? I don't know why I just got this image of me as Belgium holding one of those sticks, and Greece is like a donkey, and instead of a carrot, I've got like a loan, like a check for a loan to fix their debt issue. And they carry me in a cart. Hey, I need to stop. I just need to stop. Holy mother, dude. We actually are catching up to the Russians. It's freaking Belgium. What's going on in this world, bro? Check out how fast our population is growing now. That's crazy, bro. Also, our standard of living is starting to recover to pre-unification levels. As for the next technology, I'm actually thinking to rush a little bit for electrical generation, just so I can make use of my pops even better. We're down to 40,000 peasants again. So yeah, we need pops like crazy. Finally, we got a mandate, and that allows us to unlock influential trade centers in our trade centers. This is really, really huge, guys. Look at the amount of shopkeepers and clerks we managed to get at that, as well as an extra 162 weekly trades. Trade capacity increased to 1,620, and we also got some influence out of it. So this is a really, really underrated principle, in my opinion. I also want to add some South American nations. The Chileans love me, so I'm gonna be making some treaties with them. Investment rights, power block embassy, trade privilege, military assistance, all of this, of course, with the maybe even an alliance, actually. No, not an alliance. I don't want to ally them. I want to maybe get a defensive alliance. That should be enough to get them in my power block, but not to cuck me, because I would like to get an alliance with an actual nation. We're going to do the same thing also to the Argentinians. We will be getting them in our power block as well. We don't have enough influence. Oh my god, that is crazy. Okay, time to rival someone. I hate doing this because I really don't want to rival the British or the Swedes. I guess I have to rival the Americans, which kind of sucks, but it's the only option I have right now, because we've got like how many 18 treaties with 18 different nations already, and we're keep on going because these treaties are basically the fastest way to grow our economy right now. Oh, we can also survey a skyscraper site. Let's do it. Can you imagine 52 million GDP, 53 million GDP in 1866 as the freaking Belgians, and we're over the Russians already, about to overtake the Americans? That's just insane, man. This patch really should be called the Belgian patch. Oh my god, another world war over Bavaria. North and South divide of Bavaria, Austria against the British Empire, and Baden. Okay, interesting. Interesting combination for sure. And we just got 228 leverage over Greece, so we got a 90% chance of them joining if we give them an obligation. Why the schnitzel not? There we go, boys. The first actual founding member of the European Union is in the European... It's such a weird union. We got a little bit here, a little bit there. We got this random ass piece of land in the Middle East. It's perfection is what it is. I'm waiting now for the Ottomans to fail their Tanzimat so I can invite the Wallachians, Moldovans, and the Serbians next. Oh, they did fail and they're independent. Okay, well, it's time to make some treaties in the Balkans. Trade rights, power block investment rights, guaranteed liberties, trade privileges, and that is enough for me to get the leverage over this nation. Rinse and repeat with all the other quote-unquote independent nations in the Balkans. To be fair, though, it's a lot better for them if they join my power block. This is, though, the shabbiest and weirdest European Union by far. If I was a sovereign empire, I could also puppet all of these nations, and I've seen you guys comment. Don't worry, I've seen you comment saying that, Ludi, you should become a sovereign empire as a power block when you play Belgium. The reason I didn't do that is because it's not immersive for me. I get it, it's more powerful, you can get free subjects all over the world, but I like to be immersed in my games. I don't care about them being my subject or not. What I care about is that I'm building in their country, I'm making money off of their shit, and we got this little role play European Union going on for us. It's fun, it's cool, I like it. I hope you guys like it too. I don't know, maybe you guys don't like it. Let me know in the comment section. I'm curious how you feel about this particular run so far. Oh, look at that. Oh my lord, we can invite both Argentina and freaking Chile into the European Union. Clearly, these are truly European nations. Well, I mean, technically that's kind of true. These are definitely the most European of nations in South America, that's for sure. I'm gonna do the same tactics. Let's get the same investment rights, power block embassy, everything else with the rest of the South. You know what? It's kind of crazy that I'm genuinely getting more nations in my power block without any wars as Belgium compared to what I would do as if I was super aggressive, right? I'd probably have a slower time getting this many nations in my power block if I was an aggressive Schnitzeldorf. The only limiting factor for me right now is just my influence, because it's going down fast. We're minus 3,000 influence right now because of all the deals we got. Also, guys, one very important thing to note, if you want to get nations in your power block, use this. The funding of lobbies is absolutely overpowered. You get 25% leverage generation from political lobbies with this, and it's just like 2, 3, maybe 5 to 10,000 pounds to enable this. It is insanely easy to get nations in your power block diplomatically without having to attack them as a trade league or even as a sovereign empire if you wanted to do that, right? With just this one interaction. Hey, look at that. We also got a secondary prestige good now, the gourmet groceries. I also realized I forgot to research mutual funds. This is why I was a little bit slacking behind. So I've changed my priorities now. We're going mutual funds, investment banks, and then we're going for some production stuff because this is absolutely priority. This will allow us to change our production method to publicly traded for the financial districts, which will make us a lot more money. Oh, who's that, you ask? Why, it's the Serbians, founding member of the European Union, and Paraguay, another founding member of the Union. I should just make the theme of this video how the European Union spread diplomatically around the world. The real borders of the European Union are not within Europe, guys. Trust me. Yeah, I'm also struggling to keep track of all these treaties. I'm not gonna lie. There we go, boys. Publicly traded means we get a lot more bureaucrats, a lot less shopkeepers now. Here's another little thing I kind of forgot to do, and I know some of you might be wondering why it's happening in your games. I had a lot of leverage with Moldova and Wallachia, but it was not going up. Why was that? Because I forgot to get an interest in this area. So for my leverage to increase, I need an interest here. If I don't have an interest, you can have all the treaties in the world. It will not increase your leverage at all unless you have that particular interest. So same here. I've got the leverage with Uruguay, but it's not increasing simply because I don't have the declared interest in this particular area. As Uruguay is in the Brazil interest, it's not in the Plata interest. I'm going to cancel the interest I have in Indochina, get the one in Brazil, or maybe even go into North America too. I don't mind. Both of them are good. I'm going to cancel the one in Dixie and get the one in Gran Colombia, so that way I cover all of South America for that matter. The Indo-Chinese Peninsula is not that good, actually, now that I realize, because it has a lot of isolationist policy nations. That means that these nations get plus 100 leverage resistance. So it is literally impossible for me to add them to my power block because of that particular legislation they got. So I just wasted my time getting treaties with Siam. Oh, yes, baby. Second attempt's a charm. Total separation. What's missing now is multiculturalism. That would be actually huge. I'm also going to go for restricted child labor to increase my level of education now. There you go, boys. Say hello to my newest friend, the Wallachians. And we might as well invite the Moldovans too, right? 95% chance of success. Surely they're going to accept. All right, well, the European Union has grown, and this time it's grown with, let me hear it, European nations. That's right. We got some more treaties done with Ecuador now, since Ecuador is not yet a part of any power block, and New Granada and Venezuela were sniped already by the Americans, unfortunately. And similarly, Portugal's not a part of any power block, so we will be giving them also the option of becoming our bestest of friends. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do an alliance, a proper alliance with Portugal. Why the schnitzel not? Let's go ahead and start funding lobbies in there too. If we at least get Portugal, that's like one more European nation if you think about it. Also, the funny part is that the Netherlands still technically exist. They exist in South America. This is the only province they have. It's basically Suriname, but just still somehow called the Netherlands. It's part of the British Empire, so the British managed to swipe the Netherlands. And it's funny because we are the United Netherlands and we still have Netherlands on the map too. This game is just cute. It's a cute game. Also love how the Dutch market is everywhere in the world. There's like sneak peeks of us on every single side of the planet. And we also seem to have some massive shortages, so we're gonna have to address these shortages ASAP. Oh, I just saw Prussia eat half of freaking Germany, including Württemberg and Baden, within like a second. I don't know what happened here, but I feel like the Prussians are going to war again. Yup. Unification of Germany, and there's a cut down to size against the Germans by the, wait, what is their infamy? 34 infamy is not that much, but I get why the cut down to size. It's so that they release all of the nations in case they do lose the war. Alrighty, boys, we are starting to change our production methods to this steel frame building slowly but surely, not instantly, because we don't want to completely collapse our economy now. We're also about to switch over to census suffrage, and eventually we'll be going to universal suffrage. We are 5th when it comes to GDP and slowly catching up to everybody else. The German Empire does not have a flag. I think that's a bug. Pretty sure that's a bug. Not sure why the Germans don't have a flag, but they really should. What a great game, guys. Do I need to delete my save games again so nations have flags, or what the hell is going on here? I might also be wondering, Ludi, why do you have headsets on randomly? Why do you not have them all the time? What's happening with the headsets, Ludi? So whilst I'm recording this, what I'm also doing is ratting D2 in Escape from Tarkov. If you know what that means, well then do not go to D2 unreserved on US Central servers. If you don't know what that means, don't Google it. It's fine. It's better if you don't know what that means. I swear I'm not a bastard, okay? I'm just doing it. I'm multitasking, doing my work, having a bit of fun on the side, okay? I'm sorry if I ever ratted you in D2. I'm sorry. I want to apologize. I want you guys to check out the trade center in Flanders, right? We are making insane amounts of money with this. 166,000 just from this trade center alone, and we still have more potential for it. Look at the throughput bonus too from all the companies in here, as well as the trades for the various executives. That's right. Our company's executives can give us bonuses. So Johan Duichler also gives some bonuses, and he's a Democrat, so he's a pretty cool Chad. We also managed to get our secondary principle, which is obviously advanced research, so we can increase our innovation cap eventually. Man, I'm also lacking a lot of railways. I'm gonna queue up a little bit more. I also just finished building the first set of power plants. We got 5 power plants in every single state that we own. So the first step we need to do now is go over to our urban center, and we will be changing to the electric street lights production method for the urban center, as well as we're going to be changing all of these to steam powered ships and electric sawmill. We might not have enough, but I will just queue up more power plants as needed, obviously. Hey, we also managed to get shrapnel artillery. That's pretty good. You know what? Let's get 10 more units just so we have an equal amount of units. And I'm just going to slowly increase the size of this army a little bit as I progress. Get an extra 10 infantry, an extra 10 artillery. Want to have at least 3 armies of 100 soldiers each in case we have to defend ourselves later in the campaign, because late game AI, especially in the 1900s, tends to get really aggressive. And I'm looking at you, Britain. Oh, and I just realized the German Empire managed to get Alsace-Lorraine, so they completely crushed the French in that war. That is crazy, bro. Hey, we also cracked 100 million GDP. Half of that is in Flanders and Wallonia, though. Actually, 80% of that is in Flanders and Wallonia. There's barely any GDP in the Dutch areas. So I probably should start building in there as well, especially since we have oil rigs in Friesland, which will turn this into a really valuable state for us. Socialist ideas are sweeping across the United Netherlands. We have a few options. We can enable wage subsidies and welfare, regulatory bodies, or we just don't give a schnitzel. No, I'm gonna go for regulatory bodies because this lowers the dangerous working conditions in my state, which is actually really underrated. But it does mean that we need to get more bureaucracy, so let's spam a few more government administration buildings in our two main states. The Scandinavians unified and they left my union. Oh, screw you, Sweden. You made me lose Denmark, you little schnitzels. Oh, I just realized we're up to 21 million population. So look at this little curve. You see this? This is after we took over the Dutch areas. So our population has actually increased more from migrants than it did from taking over the Dutch areas. That is crazy. So we got so many pops right now from just migration alone. Let's check. Culture wise, we got South Italians, 1.2 million South Italians. Insane, brother. And we're converting them to our primary culture super fast. 11,000, 2,000, and 6,000 converting to our Dutch, Flemish, and Wallonian cultures, all three of which are primary now, by the way. Oh, we also have 600,000 Danes and almost a million Greeks, a lot of Persians, Albanians, Germans, Serbians, everything from absolutely everywhere. Our economy is also really bussing. We got 20 million investment pool still. Okay, I guess we could probably just do this, man. Screw it. I'm gonna go full on steel production method. I know it means we're gonna have massive shortages of steel and glass, but we're just gonna fix it as we go along. We could go down to ceramics, I guess, for now a little bit, and we can go back to the other production method later. Let's just get a few more glassworks, especially. Oh, and we got a secondary mandate, so let's go for level 2 with advanced research. Little old Krakow. If you guys haven't seen my Krakow to Polish Lithuanian Commonwealth video, highly recommend you watch it. I had a freaking huge amount of fun in that particular playthrough. I felt like such an underdog initially and slowly just building up. I was so close to failing the campaign. Like literally within the last few months, I was able to get the achievement for forming the Commonwealth as Krakow. Literally the last few months. It was insane. I'll leave it in the comment section if you haven't watched it yet. Make sure you watch it after this video. Speak of the devil, the Poles are mass migrating now. Oh my god, we have an ethno-nationalist trying to take over. Ugh, that is not what we need, sir. I'm gonna lower that political strength for you, buddy. Okay, we're also increasing our national revenue at a very quick speed now. So let's go ahead and get more construction sectors. We could max out the ones in Flanders and Wallonia. I'd say should be fine. Now, I know I said I'm gonna build in the rest of the country, and I'm still only building in the southern two states, but I'll build in the rest of them after, I promise. I also haven't invited to my power block any of the Italian nations because I fully expect them to unify into Italy eventually. Also, what the hell is happening here? Why does Savoy exist? Wait, what? The two Sicilies has Savoy and Provence, but not Piedmont, and it has... What happened? I need to know what the hell happened. Actually, how do they even get this? What? They got zero market access. That province is dying there, basically. Oh my god, some crazy shenanigans in the Italians. Oh, actually, I just realized I could probably get Tripoli in my power block easily too, seeing as they're more than happy for all the stuff that I'm offering them right now. Let's go also improve relations, start funding, because these areas will have oil eventually, and we want to develop those oil deposits that they have for the betterment of all humankind, of course. Hey, look at that. Ethiopia is about to unify too, thanks to Gojam. Did I also forget to build my skyscraper? I think I did. Let me out-click this bad boy. And let's also change to the mass scale trading our trade centers. Oh, baby. Compulsory primary education. Kids everywhere hate us right now. Did you see how this job seeker went from like 750 to 900,000? Fluctuates like crazy. We need more bureaucracy. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. Let's spend this lot together. Okay, I'll stop. Graduated taxation increases our income by a massive amount, but we don't have much support for this. In fact, only the trade unions support this, and our government right now does not include the trade unions, but maybe it should. There you go. Maybe it should. Yeah, buddy. 14% success chance. Don't mind if I do. Thanks, socialist movement. I'm also doing saves over here. So if you guys want to get the main things that happened during this particular run, you'll find them posted on my Discord. I absolutely love the graphics of the game. I feel like Victoria 3 is not going to be matched by anything Paradox releases, and the graphics of Victoria 3 are going to be still king over other games graphics for quite some time. Like, look at this, right? Every single time you have a change in the province, right? You see it on the map. What the fuck is happening in Persia? Hold on a second. Hold on a second, because I believe the Persians are under attack. Offers us the war goal regime change in Liberia if we back him up in the ongoing diplomatic play against the US. No. Fuck that. What's going on here, actually? I'm sorry. I am sorry. Are the Americans going into the Middle East to conquer provinces that have oil? What is this historical gameplay I'm witnessing right here? Brother, what? Oh, fuck. I was hoping they're not gonna use their alliance with me. I have to join now. Damn it! Screw you, Persia! Okay, the main problem now is that nobody adds any war goals against us. Because if they do, we are mega screwed. I am also instantly going to capitulate, as you would imagine. I am not gonna waste any of my soldiers in this war, guys. But I'm only gonna capitulate if they don't add any war goals. So, fingers crossed they don't add anything. Alright, looks like we are in the blue here. Oh, graduated taxation. Let's go. Oh my god, that is freaking massive. 850 national revenue. We increased by 100,000 from a simple law change. All right, black gold, black money. What the hell is this schnitzel? Oh, is that a reference to oil? Let's go ahead and check what other laws we're going to be going for next, because I'm actually pretty happy with what laws we have right now. Obviously, I would love to go for multiculturalism. We'll attempt it, but I don't really think we will pass this. We only have a little bit of endorsement from the intelligentsia, and that's it. I'm actually kind of curious to see how these fights... Oh god, no, they're already... no, I'm out of here. They already took my capital. I am out of here, buddy. I am not gonna stay in that. Holy shit, they already devastated 1%. Oh my god. Oh god, I was about to lose it all because of freaking Persia. I lost 40 million GDP. What the hell? We got to be a little bit more careful with who we invite to our trade league. Maybe the Persians are not European enough. We might have to revisit who we invite here. Maybe the Sicilians. You know what? Screw it. Let's add Sicily. They seem to be like a good chump. Can we even add them though? Actually, yeah, they would be happy to join our trade league. Wow. All right. Yeah, that should give me some leverage, hopefully enough. Let's see. We're 80 leverage short of inviting the Portuguese. How am I going to get that 80 leverage now? I just got the best thing ever. I have gotten automobiles. We got some automobiles. I'm gonna get 50 of these mother schnitzels. 50 automobiles, and we also can do synthetic plants now. So I'm gonna make Wallonia the synthetic plant state for the time being. Also, funnily enough, Krakow, my second favorite nation in recent times, is the second when it comes to standard of living. Only 2.9 million GDP is pretty disappointing though in 1886. Oh, yes, baby. The new Colossus. I really want to get the open arms event, but it would seem as if we already have one setback, so I don't think I'm going to get this. Another big step here is changing to the coal-fired plants. We just got the tech frit, but it does mean that we're going to have more engines now. We don't have enough engines. Let's also get telephones. We're going to need that, as well as radios and even electrical capacitors, so we can properly switch over to electrify the production method. So I feel like this is probably the best queue. We have now a max of 172 innovation. That is because we get 25 more from the level 3 advanced research principle. I still remember the days when you got a lot more from that principle. Also, almost 24 standard of living. Let's go. Decree cost minus 25%. Sure. And Turin agreement allowed the Dutch to build in the Tuscan area. Guaranteed. Yeah. Oh my god. Tuscany wants to join my power block? Are they in any power block? They're in the Russian power block? That's so unfair. We're basically turning the lowlands into an actual utopia right now. Cars just arrived on our market, but I'm sure that they're gonna be insanely popular. They're not. What the fuck? Okay. I know how to kickstart that. I know exactly how to kickstart my economy. Subsidize the automobiles. That way we start producing automobiles and we get people addicted to cars. Once this is my evil plan. Once the people are addicted to cars, we remove the subsidy, and as such, people are like, yo, cars? I like that shit. I need someone. Let me buy 1 million cars, just like my peeps and galats. They buy 7 cars, drive none of them, keep them in storage or in a paid parking lot in an area where there's barely any spots to park. Scumbags. But yeah, look at that. We already, we're making massive amounts from these car shops. Has increased, however, our motor industry demand. So let's get an extra 11 of these here and an extra 15 in this particular province. And we're also going to need some electric industries. I'm going to get 10 in here, and I'm going to get another 20 in Holland, just so we start making Holland some sort of, you know, viable state. We also can change to public motor carriage, which is going to massively increase the amount of pops that we free up, as well as it doubles the amount of transport. So that means we fix most of our infrastructure issues, and we also can just max out now our construction sectors 25 in every single state. The scale at which we're massively snowballing now is absolutely glorious, by the way, guys. I am genuinely in love to see how we're on voting phase. How? Dude, I was 2 setbacks on referral phase. How did this happen? I'm actually curious how this is crazy. I've never seen this shit happen before. Voting phase with 2 setbacks. Although we started with the... Oh, this is crazy. Now I actually feel like I might pass this. Oh my god. Don't get my hopes up. Don't freaking get my hopes up, game. Do not do that. Yeah, okay. I don't know how to get any more construction sectors, but I need more. So I guess I'm gonna be trying to go for the electric arch. Sorry, arc welding. That means we're gonna have to queue up all of this stuff. But we're basically... we don't have enough construction sectors for the investment pool. We right now have 40 million in the investment pool. So our investment pool really wants to build up shit, but we just do not have the construction for it. That is insane of a situation to be in. 1.2 million, by the way, national revenue, which is crazy. Let's go on medium taxation, screw it, and medium military wages. Why the hell not? Since we can afford it now, and we can invite another power block nation, Tripoli. Of course we can. Hell yeah. Tripoli, the greatest nation ever. What the hell, Britain? What did you do to my little Tripoli? Ew. Oh god, that's horrible. We passed it, boys. Oh my god, this is huge. Holy schnitzel. Okay, boys, check it out. Permanently 25% migration attraction. It is crazy how much pops we're gonna get. Just wait for it. Wait for it. We're gonna get ridiculous. Just look at this graph here, and it's gonna freaking skyrocket. It's gonna shoot into the sky. Oh, it's gonna be glorious. I can't wait for this. Oh, I'm playing this till 1936 just to see how awesome we can make this run, guys. What should we go for next now? Maybe universal suffrage, so we give everybody equal voting rights. And let's check our citizenship status. Everybody is full acceptance pretty much. Couple on second citizen and very few on lower erasure levels, and they're growing up, so they're gonna be fine. What the hell is happening? Persia's getting attacked again. Brother, Persia, stop it. Stop getting attacked. I know it's not your fault, but stop it, please. You're making me be a bad ally. I don't want to be a bad ally. Let me get some more soldiers. Maybe I actually should just get some more soldiers. I'm gonna have to withdraw from the defensive alliance that we have, simply because if I don't, they're gonna call me as an ally, and I really don't want to have to fight the British, which are also taking 2 provinces from Persia. Holy shit, man, the British are insanely warmongery. Speaking of warmongers, the Americans really just went full on here, didn't they? Arabistan, the 52nd US state, am I right? Holy shit, dude. 1.5 million company. This company has 1.5 million profit. That is insane. We literally have more profit with our company than the East India Company. Literally, the entirety of India is making less than one of our companies is making. What is this, man? That is actually insane. Look at the graphs here, guys. What the? Oh my god, I love playing as Belgium. It is actually insane to see this. Look at the amount of buildings they've got. So that's why those investment treaties are absolutely vital. Look at the amount of buildings this company has been managing to build up around the world since the start of the campaign. They have an insane amount of buildings. And who's taxing all of that? This guy. So now, guys, I do have a bit of a situation, right? I want the next company to be as good as possible. The best one financially would be the Dutch motors, because it affects motors and automobiles. So I would make insane amounts of money. I don't have a prestige good Fred, but that doesn't matter as much. Second best would be the oil one. Oil also is really profitable, but more importantly, we get the migration attraction. So do I go for more economy when I already have a lot, or do I go for the migration attraction to help me with the pops even more? Oh, it's a tough one, because I know this one's going to be really, really really great. Also want the migration attraction. I'm gonna go for the migration attraction, and the next one I'm gonna do the Dutch motors, I guess. Hey, we got universal suffrage, and I've been getting mass migration after mass migration from India, like a lot of them. It's time that we also get protected speech, and then we'll follow that up with women's suffrage right afterwards to get the workforce ratio, which, as I've been told, is not an instant thing, so it takes a while for the workforce ratio to grow. Sure, although I don't know how to actually count it if it's like that though. Oh my god, guys, we already have the addiction to automobiles. I'm gonna just spam a few of these factories everywhere, because right now we have insane shortage already of automobiles. Look at that. We're producing world's #1 producer of automobiles. Nobody produces automobiles like we do, and we already have such high pops need that we're down by 2,000, dude, as well as Trade Center 2,000. It is crazy what's happening right now. Everybody and their mamas want to have automobiles. Damn, we're even getting people from East Asia to migrate to our lands. That's insane. And Dayak, I don't even know where Dayak people are from. Okay, apparently it's some type of Malaysian culture. There you go. Protected speech passed really fast. Now I also want to go for commercialized agriculture to increase the attraction for the trade unions of the lower strata. We also can change to the telephone switchboard all of our government administration buildings. It does increase the demand for phones, obviously, but it also means we get some excess bureaucracy, which translates into more construction efficiency, and we can, more importantly, sustain that right now. Economically, we're doing really good. We're about to basically pay off almost all of our credit, and then we're about to start stocking up assets, which we don't want to do. So basically, we need to really push down towards the arc welding, so we increase the amount of construction sectors that we got. Actually, I just realized we can get an extra 5 construction sectors from going for elevators. So let me go for elevators now, and then we do what I was saying earlier. How did I forget about elevators giving an extra 5 levels is beyond me. Guys, take note, very important here. I am researching arc welding ahead of time, so I'm paying 17,000 more innovation points to get this. It only takes 24 months. My regular researches take 16 months, so it's like researching 2 techs instead of 1. I still am going for this because I really need the extra construction. I maxed it out right now. I've got nowhere else to get the construction from, so I am basically forced to research ahead of time. The good part, however, is that I actually have minus 25% penalty reduction for researching ahead of time because of my advanced research principle. Otherwise, it would cost me even more to research this ahead of time. You guys want to see how crazy these states are? Check it out. Valonia's at 120 million GDP and 17 mil pops, more pops than any other state in the world, well, aside from India, obviously, and Qing. And then Flanders is at 10 million pops with 76 million GDP. Friesland's actually catching up, 35 million, and growing because of the oil reserves that we have in here. 60 oil rigs makes a massive difference. I'm also trying to get a hold of as many oil rigs around the world as possible, so I've been building first off in my own subjects lands, and I'm also trying to build wherever I've got investment rights, because oil, as we progress, gets more and more expensive, so it's basically a massive source of income for me, and taking advantage of it right now is really important. I'm also about to overtake the German second GDP in the world, very close to them. Karl Marx becomes employed by the United Netherlands. Oh my lord. Whatever are we going to do with this Chadicus? Oh, I just realized all 3 of our agitators are very much so trade union people. Some might even call them massive communist agitators like Karl Marx over here. Also want to go for old age pension just so we have all the perfect set of legislation. Might as well, right? Let's check some ledger, shall we? We got GDP wise still 3rd, standard of living still 1st, and by far compared to everybody else. We're also catching up with population despite only having the Dutch areas, no other provinces outside. I was thinking of going colonial to get Congo for the Belgian memes, but the reality is I really just want to see with these 5 provinces how much we can get, right? We're really about to overtake the Japanese, which is insane because the Japanese start with like 30 something million population, so they barely grew in this whole freaking period of time. All right, boys, it's time to massively snowball. We've just changed to arc welding production method, and we're still making profit. Are you serious right now? Come on. Okay, it's slowly going below the threshold. Jesus Christ, man, that is absolutely crazy how much money we're making right now. But we do have electricity shortages, so the best way to figure out where that shortage is and how much you have is to go here, and then we see exactly what's happening. So we're gonna do Alt Q some some electrical factories just so we try and fix these particular issues here. Not so many issues in Flanders, surprisingly. Wallonia still has the highest amount of issues, though. Holy schnitzel, man. Even with all the ones I already built, they still have so many shortages. Now, remember, I also have the coal power plants, so it's still shortage with that particular production method. We're making more than double what you make with the early power plants, right? And we still have shortages. I want to switch to oil-fired plants, but I don't know if we would have enough oil available in the world market to sustain that, which is why I haven't really pushed to researching that just yet. But yeah, check it out. Private sector building 145, and we have right now 300 million in the investment pool just waiting to be built. Holy crap, man. Look at that. 300 million, and the reinvestment is 1.5. We literally cannot lose money. That is wild to see, bro. So reality is we're making so much money right now that we physically cannot lose money. We would have to have 20,000 construction sector, probably, well, 20,000 construction to just match the output that we have. So the reality is we just need more construction sectors, guys. We have more mandate now. Problem is that despite the fact that we are really strong, we are the 4th great power block, and we do not have the ability to get the 4th principle. We would have to be in the top 3 power blocks to get the 4th principle. We got to overtake the Americans. We got more GDP than they do. I don't know why I'm not above them, though. What is up with that? We got more members as well than they do. We got slightly smaller army. You know what? Maybe it's because of the army and the ships. So maybe it's time for me to build some more ships and get some more soldiers. Let's say get an extra 50,000 soldiers and 50,000 artillery, just so we make sure that we get some more prestige from that and power overall. I love how by 1900 with my Krakow playthrough, I actually had better soldiers and artillery than I have as the Dutch, right? Or better yet, the Belgians, because I've basically just straight up been focusing on society as well as production technology. I have not done a single military research. The only researches done in military were the passive ones, so I will research this last once I'm comfortable with the other researches, because I don't need to go to war, right? Just goes to show how funny it is having a different approach to your playstyle depending on what nation you're playing as. Hey, we're up to 25 standard of living and 41 million population, brother. Also, I've been keeping an eye on the dependents and the amount of unemployed and peasants that I have since I passed my women's suffrage. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not a big numbers guy, obviously. I've got dyslexia, so that goes without saying, but I haven't seen dependents going down compared to the population increase. I feel like women's suffrage actually is baited. I might be wrong. I probably am wrong. It's just a feeling, not an actual calculated thing that I've done. It just, I didn't see any improvement in actual people working and decrease in the dependents at all, or even like I haven't seen it plafonate a little bit to make up for the pops that have arrived, right? So it's just, I don't know. I'm curious what you guys think about it. I'm sure some of you have done the spreadsheets. I don't do that, so I'll trust your instincts. Also, let's check our population now. We've got 2.4 million, 2.5 million Greeks and Koreans. We got 2 million Ukrainians, Persians 2 million, South Italians, Maghrebi, Poles, Andeans, Bashkir, Avadi. Look how fast it's also started going up after we managed to get the level 3 principle for freedom of movement. You can actually see it in the graph over here, like a little almost 90-degree jolt above from that particular point. And about time we get the next company. So as I was saying earlier, I would like to get something that affects automobiles. Sadly, we don't have an automobile prestige good that comes alongside with this. We could get Philips. That increases our maximum innovation investment by 15. What? And we get Chapel Radios prestige good. I'm sorry, we get an extra 15 max innovation increase? What the schnitzel, dude? Now I feel bad because I was gonna go for the automobile one, but honestly, this is just way better. And apparently, there's an electrical one that we could go for as well, if we were Norwegians at least, that also has some unique stuff. I also decided to add Scandinavia to my power block, and then I realized that they became a great power. They just went, nope, you're not adding us to anything, buddy boy. We are in fact a great power ourselves. You know what? I will take Tunis instead. There you go. Tunis is a real European power. We've been able to go for colonial exploitation for a really long time, but I'm still not gonna go for it. Like I said, I really don't want to get anything outside of my country here. What I do want to change, however, is my type of governing principles. I'm actually thinking to go for corporate state to get the extra company and company charters, but I'm also thinking to go council republic because it would make for a really good thumbnail. So I don't know which one to do, bro. I'll go council just because of the thumbnail. I'm a sucker for YouTube, guys. It's, you know, sometimes the bait has to be there, but between me and you, I feel like the corporate path might be a little bit better though. We've officially managed to crank the 200 innovation for our country, and we're also getting about 203 in spread from what's left over. We're above 51 mil pop as well, and 27 standard of living. We're doing really good. I mean, if you look at the map here, our standard of living clearly is above everybody else's. We've also gone ahead and I've recruited 100 scout cruisers. I will be getting another 100 afterwards, and maybe I'll just do 50 scout cruisers for the second fleet and 50 battleships when I have the technology for the battleships, that is. I've been also hovering at one army, basically 100 infantry, 100 shrapnel artillery, but I think I should also research siege because yeah, I'm still very much behind with my military tank. I'm like the Neanderthal of technology. Everybody's got trench infantry already. I really should. I'm kind of worried now that I just said that out loud. I feel like someone's gonna attack me. I'm just gonna do trench infantry to not be as scared about this, and then I'll go back to my regular researches. I also find it actually crazy how much electricity is required. In Wallonia alone, for example, we've got 240 electrical power plants already, and we're still short. We need more than that. That's just wild, brother. Oh, and our investment pool is up to 600 million right now. Let that sink in for a second. Not only that, but the reinvestment we're getting is 3 times higher than the new constructions, which means that we would have to ideally have at the very least 3 times more construction sector, well, more construction that we have right now, so around 10,000, but we don't have the provinces for it. I maxed it out. So that's the one downside of playing toll, is that you just max out your construction at some point and it's just overflow of money afterwards, completely overflow till the rest of the campaign, I guess. All right, we used our superior technology to get trench infantry finally, and the watch on the Rhine. This is not good. This is really not good. This means that I'm gonna have to actually have a secondary army just in case, because the French have 400 battalions. Yes, definitely need a second army now. The French have gone full-on militaristic, which is the bad outcome. I really have been inching towards Council Republic. I mean, the Belgian people obviously do not want to become a communist nation. I've been struggling to pass this legislation for so long now. Oh my god, we've got Turkey on the map. What is this shenanigans? Holy schnitzel. Okay, so the Ottomans are gone. We got Turkey now, and they're a fascist dictatorship. Okay. Yep, that's wait, parliament. No, it should, no, I'm sorry. I'm just very dyslexic. It's an elective dictatorship. I thought it was a fascist one. Interesting that they got nudged as a puppet though, and also the British have lost India very late in the campaign, but it better is late than never, right? As they say. India is now in essence just divided into a million little schnitzeldorfs, and honestly, maybe not the worst idea for me to get some of these in my power block now. Oh, and going back to their companies, all of them are above 1 million, with Société Anonyme up to 3.3 million, boys. I'm just saying, but Belgium might need some nerf, Paradox. Think about it. No, I'm just kidding. Don't nerf them. This is very fun. I actually really enjoy this. People in Flanders really living the vida loca here. 30.0 standard of living is just wild. Probably should also build a power block statue. I have not built this. It's not as useful, but I mean, I'll just build it because might as well. We also have the late game technologies that produce a lot more, but also require oil. And I'm a bit worried to make these changes because it does reduce the electrical cost for some of these buildings, but at the same time, I don't know if there's that much oil available, man. I mean, sure, let's try this, right? We can check if our coal mines are still going to be productive. Increase coal production by 1,000, but also oil input by 1,000. It's just crazy. So, you know what? I'll do all of them. Change to the diesel pump. See how that fares. Because right now in the world market, how much diesel is there? I mean, how much oil is there? There actually is a lot of oil. What the hell? Russia's exporting 12,000 oil. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know the Russians were so kind to us. Let me go ahead and change everything to oil production methods to make insane amounts of money off of their oil. That means I should probably really rush for the oil-fired plant production method too. This is crazy, man. Look at my iron mines in Valonia. I'm getting 150,000 from 60 iron mines. Holy schnitzel. I'm producing 12,000. I'm the world's 8th world producer of iron, despite having a single province that is producing iron. That is wild. Finally happened, guys. Our power block is 3rd in the world, so we can get the 4th principle. And I'm gonna be going for the companies, so I get an extra company and a charter. So I get an extra company and a charter. Oh, and we finally can also invite the Portuguese to our power block. I increase my leverage over them by building more buildings in their country. So here's an easy other trick for doing this stuff. You want to add a nation to your country, build a ton of buildings in there. That increases the leverage passively, and you can invite them eventually. Let's check how it is with the two Sicilies. I've been doing that a little bit there as well. Not yet right there. We're gonna need a little bit more buildings to get the leverage up here too. However, Tuscany somehow is not in the Russian power block anymore, and we have a lot of leverage with them. In fact, if I just build a tiny bit more, we should be able to get him on our side. And I made sure to get a little bit more leverage now from the treaty I just got with them, so I don't think I even need to build anything. I just need to wait for this to go up a little bit more. Let's go ahead and spam. What do we need to spam here? Maybe some steel mills. Oh man, Portugal is now calling me into all the little shitty ass wars. Rebellion in Senegal. Wow, Portugal, you truly did need my help for that, didn't you? Oh, here's another really cool thing. If you're really desperate for leverage, another thing is you could go for the foreign investment principle. Where is it? This one in essence makes it so it increases the leverage you get from building buildings in another country. So it's really, really underrated too. Let's go. We're so close now to getting Tuscany and the European Union. All right, boys, say hello to my little Toscanos. Yeah, baby, there you go. Europeans after all, aren't we, Italy? Guys, it's over. We won the game. We just got mass production. This is the craziest production method ever. We got double the amount of cars produced now, so we're literally flooding the market with our automobiles. Oh, we just got submarines. Let's go. I believe it's time that we get a secondary fleet. Create a second fleet, and the second fleet's gonna be a little bit of a juicy one. We're gonna have 50 scout cruisers in this one, and then the rest is gonna be a combination of battleships, and apparently that's it because I don't have any more naval bases I can build. I've maxed out my naval bases. Japanese are migrating to. Oh, actually, let me check the population graph now. We are closing in. No, we're closing in on the Germans. Dude, that is no freaking way. That is actually crazy. Also, we're second right now by GDP, 605 million. We've overtaken the Germans and the Russians. We will be overtaking the British by the end of the campaign. But I'm just insane to see that the Germans have about the same amount of population as we do. So if we go to the map mode here, population map mode, this is just wild. This is actually just wild. Some of the German states are basically dead. Look at that. Less than 1 million in West Prussia and East Prussia. That is just nothing, man. By comparison, 41 million pops in Wallonia. Does that mean we got more than India? We might. We do have more than... There's more people in Wallonia than there are in the Indian states. How about in China? Probably not more than China. 25 mil, 25, 23, 22. It's official. It's official. There is more people in Wallonia than anywhere else on the planet. Holy shit, man. And it's official, boys. We are now the world's leading superpower by GDP. We've overtaken the British Empire despite only having 5 provinces. Our Wallonian state alone has 422 million GDP and 48.5 million population, and we still have about 15 years to go, so I'm really curious to see how we end up with this. Now guys, I'm not trying to copy Germany, but I failed going for Council Republic. Instead, I went for a Parliamentary Republic, and now I've got the fascists trying to take over the government. I'm not sure what's happening, but but I'm worried. Also, my company is up to 5 million profit. Holy shit. The other companies are hovering around 2 million by comparison. So yeah, Societe Anonyme, John Cockerell is just ridiculously powerful. Now I'm basically just spamming a lot of trade centers because we have potential for about 30,000 more trade. We need to take advantage of actually more than that. I'm sorry, what? The March on Brussels. Nicolas Verdun becomes the ruler in the Netherlands. Fascist party is added to the government. The nation above self. Single party state. Oh god, this is not good. Okay, this we might not want to go down this path, please. The modernization program does not have free trading act. I don't want to ruin my economy for some role play. What the hell, man? I think these events might have been designed for Germany. I'm not sure why they're triggering in my country though. Also, I reiterate, boys, 5 provinces. We got 101 million population now, 4th in the world, more than the Americans. Wait, what happened in the US? Why did they get a massive jolt of population? They took their provinces from Mexico. Oh, interesting. Okay, well, whatever, bro. And we still have the highest GDP in the world and growing, as well as the highest standard of living and growing. I did have to scale down a little bit some things. Namely, I had to lower my social security because the welfare was 3 million. I was paying 3 million in welfare. Okay, that is not okay, buddy. I'm gonna hover around level 3, level 4 because 3 million in welfare is a bit exaggerated if you ask me. Doesn't do shit except increase our standard of living a tiny bit. That's it. Now, I do want to see what single party state turns our country into though, so I'm not gonna go fascist, but I will change only this one legislation just to see if we get a cooler flag change or whatever the case. A great day for the people of Belgium. We are now a single party state, which is somehow better, maybe. I'm not sure. We have the fascist party in charge. And we've also reached let's focus on the fact that we reached 1 billion GDP. So this is, of course, the greatest nation ever. Way better than those people in Britain. Nobody likes them. We're the best. We got 70% standard of living, or sorry, literacy, 27.6 standard of living. It dropped a little bit when the fascists came to power. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. Some things to note is that the entirety of the country is just one big massive buildings. Look at that. No more farmlands anywhere on the map. It's all freaking buildings everywhere, bro. Now, I cannot recruit any more soldiers, which sucks because I am limited to 100 per province, of course. And same, I can only have 160 ships. So I've maxed out my army. I've maxed out my navy. I've got 40 million loyalists. Oh, and because I am a fascist party now, sorry, a single party now, I can get some more decrees. So we can say get some more greener grass in the provinces where we don't have it already. Speaking of though, let me show you guys some of these maps. Mass migration attraction map, we are up to 101, and we got migration targets everywhere pretty much. The annual projected migration in Wallonia alone is 1.25 million people, and we currently have almost 50 million people in that one state. We've also become the second world power when it comes to prestige, but I just don't know how to get more prestige to defeat the British, because obviously I can get more GDP. I already got more GDP than them, but I cannot recruit units, right? And the units is one of the easiest ways to get prestige. That's basically why they're ahead of me right now. They got 1,000 battalions and 509 flotillas. I literally cannot build that unless I expand, and obviously that would be against the goals of the campaign, so I'm not going to be expanding, which means I'm probably going to be stuck with second GP till the end of the campaign because I cannot get more prestige than that. Another great milestone, boys. We went up to 30.2 standard of living and 114 million population. Now, something interesting has happened in the last few years. I'm noticing that our primary population is getting replaced. So we're getting 10 million North Italians. We are converting, right? But the conversion stopped. There's like barely any conversion now to our primary culture, and I'm not sure why. We got also Bengalis, the majority in Holland state itself. There's more Bengalis in Holland than there are Dutch people. And we've got Marathis 9 million, Japanese 8 million, Persian 5, Ukrainian 5. Basically, we're starting to lose the grasp on what's our major or primary culture compared to everything else here. Also, standard of living wise, we are followed up still by the Canadians and the Tusconians, which are still a part of the European Union. So that's European broskies right there. I'm also making an insane amount of money with my automobiles. I've got 1,500 automobiles. To put things into perspective, the automobiles I have in Flanders alone make me 620,000 balance. That is wild, brother. And I know I said wild a lot of times in this playthrough, but that really is wild. Come on. We can literally make up to 10 million if we go on very high taxation, which obviously we don't need to. And our investment pool is up to 3.35 billion pounds, man. Look at this. Reinvestment is at 7 million because of the amount of growth we've been getting in the past few years. The scaling is off the freaking charts. We're still ahead of the British when it comes to GDP. Prestige wise, like I said, it's going to be hard to make that gap there without extra soldiers. And population wise, we're still fourth. Britain is up to 170 million. The reason for that is because Britain's an aggressive little shit, and they've been attacking and flat out just annexing provinces straight up everywhere around the world. They directly own more than half of North India for some reason, and a lot of the rest of the planet. So yeah, speaking of the rest of the planet, the Americans are also about to make the push to grab the last of their lands, namely California here, and the Federation of the Americas has been formed in South America. Cockerel is still at 5.35 million profit and still above the East India Company, with our second company being the third in the world and the rest of them having around 2 million profit or so. It is insane, guys. Actually insane what I've done in this campaign. I know I can do a lot more too in the next 7 years, but at this point I just feel like, what's the point really, seeing as I've already done everything and my scaling is really limited because of the self-imposed restriction of not being able to expand. If I was able to expand with the 3.35 investment pool, I would just spam like 20-30,000 construction sectors and then just really probably reach 10 billion GDP easily. So maybe next time I play as Belgium, I allow myself to grab areas around and maybe even go for a European unification or something of the sorts. I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun with this particular playthrough, and don't forget to watch my Krakow video up next. Love you, and I'll see you in the next one.